Hi, it's me, Miss Arneson. I'm going to talk to you today about your project called Universe Verse for this class. If you see right here, I have put it in week three's like category right here. But it's not due till week four, till September 2nd. But I want you to start looking at it and thinking about it right now because it's really, really like a big chunk of your grade. It's going to be worth 30 points, which is a lot of your grade so far. So let's talk about it real quick. If you go to this assignment, okay, there's some directions like watch this video. So that's what you're doing right now. Good job. But I'm not going to read this to you. I'm just going to go over this document right here, the one that says 202 project, because it has the directions and I do not want you to be confused. Okay, so what I've done is I put in bold at the top of each of the parts of this lesson when you should do it. So this is like assigned for week three. So like when I time my work for you guys and I add up how much time I think it's going to take you guys to do everything, I have put part of the time for this project to be done during week three. Okay, so here is the first part of the directions. You're going to look over the topics we've covered in this class. Basically, you're going to look at the essential questions. So if you liked the part about the Big Bang the best, then that's what you should choose as your topic. There's three topic options because there's three essential questions in this class. So the essential question about how do we know the Big Bang happened would be for this option, the Big Bang. The essential question about where do the elements, so like where do matter and energy come from, would be in this topic about the star cycle. And then the essential question about what happens inside the sun and how do we get the energy from the sun to the earth would be in this last topic, El Sol. So you choose which one you prefer. I would choose and then not change my mind a whole bunch because the more you change your mind, the more time you're going to waste and the harder this project will get. Okay, the next part of this project, which I've assigned also to week three, is for you to look up the words that are in your topic. So there's a long list of vocabulary words right here, but you don't look them all up. Let's say you chose to do the one about the sun. Then you're going to look up these words right here. You should already have them in your notes. In fact, if I were you, I would use the definitions that are in your notes instead of ones that you look up online, because if you look up fusion core, you're going to get a ton of stuff. But what I mean is the fusion that happens in the core of the sun, and that will be a lot less writing for you to do. The reason you should look up all these words and define them right here so you can just type right into this document is because it is going to give you guys a good first start of the project, because then you already have all of the words and you have their definitions, so you know what they mean. Because the next part of this lesson, actually part 4, you are going to write a universe verse. So you need to write a lyrical expression. That could be a poem, a rap, a spoken word, which is like kind of like poetry, but you just speak it out. It just has to have some rhythm to it. And you're going to either tell the story of the Big Bang, okay, how everything in the universe, all the matter, is made from star stuff, or what the sun has to do with our solar system and why it's so important. So you are going to be telling those stories. That's why you need these vocabulary words. And I've also given you some examples to look at. So this one is the Big Bang Theory theme song. That one is only like 25 seconds long, but if you write it out, it has quite a bit of words. But it doesn't tell any of the stories that you're going to tell. This is just an example of telling a story about the universe. Okay, so here's one. It's a rap. This one is like really funny. It's about this teacher who's like getting onto a student, and then the student's like, I actually know everything already in this class, and then he tells him, so it's kind of a fun one. Weird Al is a singer who does parodies, so he takes a song that's already made and then he rewrites the lyrics. So if you wanted to do that, you could take a song that's already made and rewrite it. This one is spoken word. So this is a bunch of people. This one isn't about science, and neither is the Weird Al one, but it's just a really good example of what you can do if you choose. And then this one is an original song composed by this nerd for his mom for Mother's Day, but he wrote the whole thing, the music and everything. So if you're really into music, then you could do something like that. So not all of these examples are about science, and none of the examples are like what you should do, because you should do your own original work. If I was doing this project, I might pick a poem because I think that's probably the easiest. But I also like challenges, so I might rewrite a song that's already been made. So that's another option that you could do. Okay, so this part is for week 4. Of course, you can do it ahead of time, but this 2-hour block here is made for week 4, which is the final week of this class. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to rewrite a song, and you're going to use the vocabulary words for your section. So that is going to probably take you a little bit of time. I would say just start it, like figure out a word. So like if you're starting with the Big Bang, the first word of your poem could be bang, right? Like, or a Big Bang happened 13.82 billion years ago. You're just going to have to like write stuff, and you're probably not going to like what you write first, but then you can go back and revise it and change it. You need to figure out how to use all these vocabulary words in your verse. So that's why you really need to look them up and understand them well enough that you can use them in like a sentence. Like if your mom asked you what a protostar is and you're doing the star cycle, you should be able to just explain to her what that means off the top of your head. Okay, if you would like to, you can make a video of yourself reading your poem, rapping your verse, and if you do that and you share it online, then you will get bonus points for doing that. That is totally optional. You are not required to do that, but you are required to turn it in a certain spot. So let me show you where you need to turn this project in. So if you go right here and you click on your work, it's going to open a Google document, and the Google document has a title and a name. You should not leave the title of your project. You should change it to what you are titling your song or your rap or your poem. Of course, name, you need to delete the name that's already there and put your name in it. Okay, then below you are going to type. You can change the font if you want to one that matches what your universe verse is about. And you can basically edit this however you want. I just for sure want the title and your name at the top, and then I want your work that you've typed up. If you want to write it on paper and then type it in here later, that's fine. If you want to type it and revise it in here, that's fine. Just make sure you have evidence that you have written it yourself. So like take a picture of what you wrote on your paper, because sometimes people will look up poems about the universe online and then copy and paste them, and then that gets you a 0 because it's cheating. So don't do that. But I think there's going to be quite a few questions that come up about this project. So as you email those to me, I might come up with a video that answers some of those questions so that it's easier for you guys to get started. But don't put this off, because it will take some time and dedication. If you're sitting there and you cannot start, call me up and I will help write the first few lines of your verse with you so that you can keep going from there. I've had to do that with some students, and they're like really frustrated. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. But then we work together for a second and they get right on top of it and then finish it really easy peasy. All right, guys, I hope you have a good day.